Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz with Star Nations Radio Network's show, Star Nations Communications from Home. It's Tuesday night, November 14th. Welcome to the show, Star Nations Communications from Home. And it's been a wonderful, very fast-moving day today. I was just sharing with my guests that Tuesdays are usually extremely busy. And why is that? Because Star Nations is busy on Tuesday mornings with at least 3 shows on the second Tuesday of the month, and it was very busy today, and it was fun. I have to say, it was fun. So welcome to the show, and tonight's show for Star Nations is really. I've been looking forward to it for a few days because my guest is someone who has joined Star Nations as a radio show host and has also contributed to the magazine, Star Nations Magazine, as well. And the reason why I've been looking forward to it is because she is one of our elders here at Star Nations. And I have a thing about sitting down and chatting with the elders because we learn so much from them. And so I wanted to make sure that people in our community and those who might be new to our community would get to know her. And so I'm going to bring her on in just a second. I just want to say hello to somebody here. This is Rochelle. Hi, Rochelle. Thanks for joining us tonight. I just wanted to let you know I did get your message, but I've been busy all day. And I want to sit down and send you that information once the show is done, okay? So I just didn't want you to think I forgot about you. I didn't. And just want to let everybody know that you're watching Star Nations Communications from Home. I love Be Live. This is a live stream show on Facebook, and it's powered by our partners at Be Live TV. And Be Live TV created this really cool app that gives us all kinds of really nice things to use in an interview. And let me tell you, I have to say that it's fun in running the studio. I like doing it. So, if you wouldn't do me a favor, and even if you're watching the recorded show, it would really be nice if you could do this for us, is if you could please share, like, or love this show, and that way people will know that the show is occurring, right? And what I'm going to do is do that myself. I've got my cell phone out here, and we're going to do that quick. Doesn't take very long. And I'm going to share it to our group for Star Nations, if I can get it to work. Oh, there we go. And Star Nations Radio Network. And I'm just going to say, join us. We are live streaming Communications from Home. From home. With my guest, and we're going to bring her on right now, okay? I can't wait. Here we go. We're going to bring on my guest, and her name is Constance Scherer Vawter. And like I said, she is one of our elders here at Star Nations, and I'm going to bring her on. Hi, Connie.
Hi, Neshi.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Like I said, I've been waiting for this, looking forward to it for a few days, because I enjoy spending time with elders because elders always have such interesting stories and remind us, that we should really pay attention to what's happening right now in the present time, and not always spending all of our time, trying to fast forward to the future with all our planning and everything that we got to get done. And so I like to take the time and to be able to spend time with elders. And so I appreciate you being on the show with me.
Well, thank you very much for asking.
Yeah. Connie is a host here at Star Nations Radio Network. Connie hosts a show. The name of her show is Spiritual Mysteries of Life, and it's on the last Tuesday of every month at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And Connie, I have to ask you this because maybe some people out there who are just joining us, maybe they don't really know about why you named your show what you did, Spiritual Mysteries of Life. What's the story about that? How did you get the name of your show?
Well, when Denise asked me if I would like to do this, she said, you have to have your own show. And I thought, oh, well, and then she's think of a name. Well, it just so happened that I was looking at a book that a friend of mine wrote back in the 70s, Nellie Kane, and a metaphysical teacher. And her book is called Exploring the Mysteries of Life.
Oh.
And I thought to myself, oh, well, what about the spiritual mysteries of life? Because there's just so many things, that I think about as when I learning and studying and everything and all the spiritual, because that's really where we're all headed for, are the spiritual things in our life. And they're all a mystery, no matter what. And so it's just a wonderful, and I just thought, and it fit. And she said, yeah, it's it. That's it. So that's what we went with. And, I was a spiritualist for many, many, many years. And then I was raised Lutheran. And I was involved in fundamental churches. I think I have gone to every church that just about there's investigated anyway. And I went to a lot of them. And so in each time I'd go away and I'd say, well, okay, that's fine, but I'm still looking. And then I joined the Catholic Church. And that was a spiritual experience because it was the Holy Mother who came into me and brought me to her. So that was in itself quite an experience. And even though, you say spiritually, how strong that was. And so, and then I had many, many spiritual experiences within Catholicism. And I had just wonderful, wonderful messages that brought me out of it just did. And so I just felt that was part of my journey. I was to go there, and I worked in the church. I did a lot of things. And then when it was time for me to leave, I knew it was time. And so when I came to Florida, I couldn't find my niche. I couldn't find it. So I just didn't do anything. I just studied and did my meditations and asked, where do you want me, Lord? And what do you want me to do with what time I have left on this earth? And that's when I got the call. Denise asked if she could interview me. And then the next thing you know, there was the show.
I actually remember that. I have a little feedback going on here. I don't know if you can hear that. I was going to bring up a picture that I wanted to share with everybody. It's just going to take me a second here. Let's see. I wanted to show everyone your picture that you have for your show. One of the promotions we use, I'm going to give it solo so that everybody can see it. And this happens to be a promotional image that we use to promote Connie's show. And I wanted to show this because I think it really captures the feeling of your show. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I really love it because she has been directing me. A lot of folks probably would say I was nuts, but when you're a spiritualist at heart, and she has come to me many times, and I have been on my knees with her, and she has been a godsend to me, and I am so ever so grateful that she does come into my vibration because of her holiness. I always think of her and being such a holy mother that she would even come close to me. So I have felt very, very blessed. Yeah.
Well, it's very beautiful image that we use to promote your show, and we have to thank Lily for creating.
When I saw that,
yeah,
I just loved it. I said, "Oh, they touched my heart."
And I wanted to share that with people so that they could see the connection that you have with the Holy Mother. Now, you've said something here that I'd like to kind of key in on a little bit, that maybe some of our audience may not know or understand what a spiritualist is. And if you could help us understand that, that would be wonderful.
Well, I have been this way ever since I've been a little girl. And so, I don't know. My mother was very protective of me. And, but as I got older, I think it was 1968, I was telling somebody that I said, I hear things and it's driving me crazy. And this woman says, you need to go visit a spiritualist. Mm-hmm. And I said, what is that? Because I had never been exposed to that before. So I went to see this woman. Her name was Evelyn Connie in the Grand Rapids area. And Evelyn was reading me, and I looked at her, and I said, I hear just like you. She said, I know you do. I don't know why you're not doing it. Why are you here with me? And so then she sent me to a spiritualist church in Grand Rapids, which was the Church of Divine Light. Mm-hmm. So that was 68, 69. So in I think it was 72, I started, after classes, I started reading, giving messages up front. And I did that for about 14 years. Wow. And then I got married. We were married in the spiritualist church. And then my husband didn't want me to be doing that anymore. And I said, what do you mean? I said, okay, if you don't want me to do it, I won't do it. But it's part of me. It's here. It's in my system. So I don't know I'll just deal with it. So through my life, my daughter would say to me, Mom, I've got some kids that, girlfriends that like a reading. Will you do it? And I said, well, bring them during the day when he's not around. So we kind of worked that in, So I did that. And of course, I was in the corporate world as well. So, I was the president of a corporation, and I kind of had to fly under the radar most of my life. And that's the truth. I did. And then I don't know how to start it all or begin, but when my marriage of 30 years ended, then my daughter, Christine, decided, she said, you are out of here. I'm moving you to Florida. And I said, no, you can't move me to Florida. I don't know anybody in Florida. She says, Mom, just trust me on this one. Mm. So I did. I put all my trust in that child. And the priest I was working for at the time, he says, well, she's got more clout than I have. I said, well, yeah, she's my kid. Okay. Yeah, she's going to take care of me. And he said, I think you're making a big mistake. And I said, no, I'm not. I said, this is right. So I came to Florida. Mm-hmm. And so it's been a blessing, because then I was able to get away from all the negativism. I was able to, just focus on my spiritual work. And it was like saying, okay, here I am. Where do you want me? What do you want me to be? And where do you want me to be? And when I was setting my house up, I have lots of the Sacred Heart of Jesus pictures. And so I think I have him in every room in my house. And it just so happens there's a Sacred Heart of Jesus Catholic Church here. And I did attend that church. And it's a beautiful church. And that night I thought, well, there was just something missing. And I couldn't figure it out. So I just thought, well, okay. Well, then, of course, I got in touch with Denise. And I think that I was so surprised that I had to come clear to Florida to connect with Denise when I was already in the neighborhood. That's right in the backyard. Yeah. And then for all this to materialize and come about, I had to get out of there. Isn't that crazy? But you know what? Spirit knows what they're doing. The Holy Spirit absolutely knows what they're doing.
We have a statement here from Rhonda Simon. She says, this has a lot of spiritual teachings, not conventional. Many kinds of spiritual beliefs come with an open mind and heart. My very dear friend, Denise Iwana, has turned me on to these programs, and it feeds my soul, and hope it does yours as well. Thank you for that, Rhonda. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Dana, Denise, she and I are business partners. Dana and I are Star Nations, everything. And you're right. We knew in our hearts, we knew that the radio shows had a depth of information that you don't find in many places on internet radio, right? And we kind of outgrew our old partner for internet radio, and that was Blog Talk Radio. I knew in my heart that we were going to be reaching a lot more people in a different vehicle, and I just didn't know at the time what that vehicle was going to be. And then Be Live kind of got plopped in my lap. It was late one night. I was getting ready for bed, and I was used to watching live stream videos, stream shows out of North Dakota when the water protectors were really working very hard to protect the Missouri River at the time. And I couldn't find anything. Nobody was live streaming. And so I was flipping through as I was brushing my teeth, flipping through my phone, and I found this show that had two people side by side, just like you and I are tonight, on the screen. And it was good. It was clear. It was great. And so I asked the host on the show in chat, I said, what are you using to provide this kind of interview? And she told on live stream what it was, and spent a few minutes with me telling me about Be Live. Well, that was back in March. And so I started investigating it and playing around with it. And I tell you what, we started our live streaming our shows in October, and we're reaching probably, well, with Blog Talk, it was anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 people a month. And just in the first month, we're almost close to 10,000 people that we've reached.
And, I think that in the beginning, I didn't know how, when we would come up, a lot of folks didn't know that I was on Blog Talk Radio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of my friends who are on Facebook, I knew that once this came and that I would be making an appearance, and then they would find out that, hey, this woman is a psychic, or however they want to call it. But I don't call myself a psychic. I call myself a Christian mystic. Because that's right. And because of the fact that it's because of the fact that I believe in the fundamentals of Christ and what he taught, and that it's there, it's for us. He taught us, he led us. So I'm very I guess I'm at the point where I can't worry about what my friends might think about me at this point.
Yeah.
Because I at my stage in my life, it's just, I think I've asked for this. I said, what can I do to help raise the light, for people to turn on their light and love and just get that out there? Yeah. And so I have worked very, very closely with the Archangel Uriel. And so there's all kinds of things that are coming in, and we have so much coming down here that's going to be, and we'll talk about that on my next show.
Yay!
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Universal Center that we have started here in Largo, Florida.
Good.
But that will come Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month. I will be bringing in Magdalene Hawk, and she is the founder.
Okay, good.
And so we're going to be talking with her and getting more information.
That's great. I love that. I'm going to catch that show. Now,
and on Friday nights, Neshi, every Friday night we have a message circle. And Friday night, this past Friday night, was our first one. And we had a very nice crowd of people, and I was absolutely so blessed that I was able to touch and read for every one of them that was there.
Aw.
And it was just like, are you kidding me? But it was there, and a lot of good feedback. So we're just hoping that this center will offer we're going to have a college here of lessons where people can learn about how to turn on that light and get into it and feel it and know that it's okay. You know, and I want to promote Denise's books, their kids' book, anything that we can do, because there's so many children out there that are carrying it and they're afraid to talk about it, because they actually, our younger little children, are the bearer of light. They are the ones who can feel the spirits. They can hear them. They can sense them. And it's like, oh, we have to just hug those babies and just love them to death because they're the future light.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if I wanted to share with people who are our audience tonight, if they haven't caught your show on Tuesday, that last Tuesday of the month, you do connect with spirit during that show, and will actually bring in information, messages coming from spirit. And because I've watched your show, right?
Well, let me say this about my first show that I actually saw of myself. I thought, what is that? Because I was looking down, and I thought, I got to be looking up. So I thought, spiritually, the spirit world and I just have to get ourselves connected. You know, so I'm looking upward and not downward, because they show me things. It's like watching a moving picture. And so it's like, okay, I see that. Okay, what am I, and then I'll look down, see? And I'm not reading anything. I'm just looking down because that's where my eyes follow. And so now I've got to talk to them and try to say, listen, can we lift it up so that I'm looking at we have an audience now. We have technology we have to work with.
That's right.
But that's really true. And it's wonderful that because let's see, what do I have written down for my December? I know I was going to tell you that in December, on my meditation I got the other day, that I'm supposed to talk about retrieve my soul. And I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty heavy. So I don't know if that's really what I'm going to talk about that morning or not, because usually if I study something or read something, then I get up the next morning, do my meditation, and they'll say, oh, we're not talking about that. We got to talk about this, because this is what the people need. And so that's how I play it. I mean, I just let them run the show.
So much easier that way, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm just the vehicle. That's why I feel I'm so blessed.
And we're blessed to have you here with us at Star Nations. That's a fact. And, I had promised when I first started doing Star Nations Communications from Home, this was someplace where I could practice and play and try to figure out this new technology, right? And in order to do that, I had to have a live show. And when I first started, I promised that I would have 30 minutes because people are busy, right? And to do a 30-minute show. And so I've been doing radio shows for a long time, and I know that our shows go by like that. 30-minute shows is like a blink of the eye.
That's right, they are.
Yeah. And so we are at the time where we're going to end the conversation. But I wanted to let people know that they can find you on Star Nations Radio Network, here on Facebook, at our main fan page, which is the Star Nations Radio Magazine, Radio Network, and Publishing main fan page. But you also have your own fan page. And so Dana is going to be producing your show this month, right?
Right.
Yep. And she will probably produce it from your own fan page. And so I'm going to write that into the comment so everybody knows where they can go to catch your show. And so it's called Spiritual Mysteries of Life, and it's the Facebook fan page. And there'll be all kinds of announcements and promotions out about it. And so you'll be able to find it hopefully very easily. And so Connie, I just want to say thank you again for taking the time out and to have a chat with us.
Well, thank you again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And one of these days, I'm thinking maybe after the first of the year, sometime I'm going to actually start doing hour-long shows again. And so what I'd like to do is have you on for one of those longer shows so that we can spend more time talking about that Christian mystic. And yeah, I like that. I like that title. So thank you so much. And if audience, I'm going to spend a little time with you, and then we'll bring Connie back on just to say goodnight for everybody. But I wanted to show you a couple of things. We just published the November issue of Star Nations magazine, and that was on November 10th. We had just done that, and I thought I had, well, shoot. I thought I had the cover. Here it is. It was in a different one. Here we go. This is the cover. And I have to say, I really enjoyed working on this cover and working on the layout for this cover because we were highlighting Native American Heritage Month and also Veterans Day and Thanksgiving and gratitude and family stories. And so it's you can get this magazine in just about any version you can possibly think of. We have it in digital for Apple and Android mobile devices. And we also have it as print on demand, PDF, and also web viewer. And so if you like to actually hold on to your magazine, you can get it in print on demand. And you can get that from our partners at www.magcloud.com and go to the Star Nations page, and you'll see all of the articles there, all the issues, I should say, all the issues that you can get by print on demand. They're also the ones that handle the PDF and web viewer versions of the magazine. And we also have one other one that is kind of close to my heart. I really like this one. Every year, we do a gift, a special issue for the magazine as a thank you to our readership and also those people who are on the radio shows with us. And this year, our theme was Mother Earth, Grandmother Earth. And this particular issue is available for free digitally. In other words, if you have an Apple or Android mobile device, you can get it, download it for free. The print book, the print magazine is for printing only. Okay, that's the only thing you have to pay for it and the shipping. But the PDF and the web version is also free. So, and you can go to our website if you'd like to find out more information on how to do that. .org, starnations.org. You can do that. I brought Connie back on because I'm almost wrapping this up. I just wanted to also talk about two other things. I promised I would mention Missing Nana. That's by Minnie Kansman. Minnie is one of our radio show hosts and also a contributing writer to Star Nations magazine. And she wrote this wonderful book for children. And it's about when someone close to them, a beloved, passes away, as in with my culture, we say walk on, that they pass away and they're dealing with grief maybe for the first time. And so Minnie has a connection to the nature spirits, and the nature spirits actually helped her to write this book and how they help us to recover and live through grief. And it's a wonderful book. It's also available as a ebook and also as a print on demand. Kind of lost it there for a second because I heard somebody come in the back door. That's my husband, Paul. And then we also have to mention the Tarot Journey, Volume 1 by Julie Hedges. She's also a contributing writer and radio show host here at Star Nations. And what we did, we worked with Julie and we pulled together her articles from the time she started writing in 2014 think it was 2014 through 2015, and we pulled together all of her articles and we compiled them into a book. And so if you are a beginner with the ancient language of the Tarot, this book is really, really good for that. If you're an intermediate user and you really want to strengthen and go deeper with that language of the Tarot, Julie has that for you too. And I have to say that this book, even teachers of the Tarot have been gifting their students this book because Julie does such a great job in talking about the layouts and the meanings of the cards and all of her articles. And so you can get that in print on demand and also as an ebook. And you can order it through lulu.com. That's our partners who do that for us. But you can also get both books at amazon.com and also barnesandnoble.com. And however you like to get your books, we have it for you. So, Connie, thank you so much again. And would you like to say some parting words to our audience before we say goodnight?
Oh, yes. Thank you so very much. I really feel I'd like to bless everyone who is listening because life is hectic right now. And we all need to love one another with all of our hearts. And sometimes that's hard, but life goes on. We don't worry about tomorrow. It's not here. Mm-hmm. Only take today and live for today and know that life will be what you make it. And it's just awesome. That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Yeah. She said you look very pretty tonight, and you do.
Oh, well, thank you very much. But I think that the folks, I'm really pleased with what's happening with the Be Live TV because we are able to bring to the light, to bring people to their consciousness of the I am presence of the light. And that's what it's all about, is getting us there. We have, the times are changing, and it's so important that we connect and be who we are. And like I said, for years and years, I flew under the radar, but now I don't have to fly under the radar. I thought, they either love me or they don't. And I can't worry about that anymore because I am who I am. I've been this way since I've been a toddler. So I can't take it away. It's there. So I'm now a senior, and as you guys call me, an elder, and I handle that very well. And I'm blessed, truly blessed. And thank you very, very much.
Well, you're very welcome. And with that, I'd like to say goodnight to everybody. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, the 14th. No, today's the 14th, the 21st. The 21st. And I think what we're going to be talking about next week is an attitude of gratitude, because you know what's coming up is that Thanksgiving's Day. So we're going to talk about gratitude next week. So with that, we'll see you next week right here on Star Nation's Communications from Home. Good night, everybody.
Good night.